interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Chelsea 4, Tottenham 3. What a game of football that we were just served up. Christmas is a couple of weeks away, but that felt like presents, dinner, Boxing Day drinks, New Year's Eve, and a reach around all together. Hit the like and the share button. Make sure you are subscribing. There's only one place to be at full time on football YouTube, and that is the Football Terrace for the full fan highlight show. We're going to break it down. We've got a panel coming on for you. Get your comments in right now, but let's get this to 5,000 likes. I think that game deserves 5,000 likes, 6,000 likes. Wow. So much to unpack, so much to delve into, so much to talk about as well. Genuinely, so much happened in that game. Amazing, 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 amazing. Great goals, bad defending, the winners, the bottle jobs, Anthony Taylor, the title race. So much to unpack. Stay with us. It will be epic. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. It will be an epic, epic show indeed. Where do I even start? Like, genuinely, do you know what I normally do it the other way around, but I'm going to do it this way around today because I'm going to start with some of your super chats to begin with. And Moose Wizard here says, woo, come on, Chelsea, cold Palmer in it. Thank you for Sancho. Enzo is a beast. Palmer is cold. I think that meant to say Caicedo and Enzo should be off twice. Shocking. What did Enzo do? Let me know. Maybe I missed that one. Caicedo, best midfielder in the Premier League. Even at a 4-goal lead, I never doubt Spursy at 3-point lane. Of course, we were going to beat this useless bunch, is what Andrew says here. And Felix says, Terry, please speak on Enzo. Him and Sancho were the only players at 2-0 down who stood up. Big up the players and the goals. I'm going to come back to that super chat with the panel a little bit later as well. Flock here says 3-point lane. And that is what that place is for Chelsea. It is 3-point lane. In fact, do you know they've lost Spurs 19 of their last 40 Premier League games? Horrendous. C here, long time no see. I haven't seen C. He says 3-point lane. My Chelsea is back, and it's about to look like 2004 again. President Jafar here says we got our Chelsea back. Scary is what's said here. Sancho and Palmer, wowza, took the game over, is what Man Like Dyke says here. Let me give you a stat. This is the first time in Premier League history Chelsea wins a match after coming from 2-0 down. Obviously, it came against Spurs. That is crazy. What a crazy statistic. What a massive, massive, massive statistic that is for Chelsea Football Club today against one of their biggest and most bitter rivals as well. It really, really is. We'll come back to that one as well. We've got our effing Chelsea back, is what Stu says here. Yes, we won, but can't be letting in many goals. We're going to touch on that too, so I'm going to save that one. As I've said all along, trust the process. And do you know what, Ronin? You are one Chelsea fan. There's two other Chelsea fans I'm going to shout out here. Ches, who comes on the show, and Don. Two of the only Chelsea fans who they would call out the mistakes. As I did, as a host of the Terrace and as a football fan, called out the mistakes in the last 2.5 years, but had faith that Ineos and Todd Boehly and co would get Chelsea back to the very top. They're not quite there yet, but they are certainly on the road to getting that done. Sancho, man of the match. Palmer changed the game. Enzo, both player and manager, can shag me. And seeing Son start crying at full time is beautiful, is what C has got to say here with us today. And look, I'm gonna break the game. I'm gonna break the game down. Obviously, we're gonna bring the panel out and touch on some of the big, get their view, but touch on some of the big talking points as well. But look, there's a few things here I want to talk about. Firstly, the start. Chelsea are in this title race. Where they have to improve is defensively. 3 goals being conceded today needs to improve. I think 18 in totality. You compare that to the 11 so far of Liverpool. That's where the 4-point gap comes from. Of course, Liverpool with that game in hand, but they have to win that game in hand. We don't know. A lot of people are saying Liverpool have been done a favour. We don't know when that game is going to be scheduled. That game could be scheduled in a horrible little period where they don't get much rest. They could be in a worse situation availability-wise by then, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it as football fans. Defensively, I know Enzo Maresca is a perfectionist. He will be scrutinising those players. I thought Levi Colwill was poor for the first goal, didn't see the run from Solanke. Of course, the wrong boots on from Kukurea, which is just a schoolboy error, slipping twice, which led to the goals. So the defending is poor and you never want to go through that. However, this is where I'm going to praise Chelsea. To show the mental fortitude to pick yourselves up, to dust yourselves down, and to come back from that is what champions do. We always talk about champions wins on the terrace. Every now and then you'll see a bad performance and they scrape a win. Really good team does it. Fucking hell, champions win. To be 2-0 down, defensively all over the place, to re-find your form is amazing. Now, individuals I want to speak about. Jadon Sancho, absolutely impeccable today. And his goal, I know Kukurea gets the assist because he passed it to him. That's the kind of goal that shouldn't have an assister. The goal was all, Sancho should get the goal and the assist. It was phenomenal. And it really gave Chelsea that impetus to get back into the game. It was great. Enzo Fernandez, yes, scored not the winning goal Palmer did from the spot, but scored that decisive goal to go 3-2 up. But it was his performance in midfield prior to that. He was here, there, and everywhere, comfortable on the ball, dominant defensively, strong in the duels, and he's been doing it for a number of weeks now. All that criticism that he got for the past year was warranted. But what's been brilliant from him, Enzo Maresca, and Chelsea as a club, is they have found a way of unearthing again the quality of the man we saw at Benfica that we saw 2 years ago now at the World Cup for Argentina. Phenomenal from him. Cole Palmer with his goals. We know how phenomenal this young man is. Some people will say it's just from the penalty spot. You know you don't get that bullshit analysis with me. Goals are goals, and he has to score them. The fact that he did a Panenka for the second, absolutely outrageous to have that. I mean, by the way, if he doesn't score that, you draw the game. Because Spurs did get a goal very, very late on. Let you know as well, by the way, that goal means that Dan Lawless is doing the one-chip challenge on Straight Facts on Friday because Staffy needed Son to score or assist to come to not finish last, and it's Dan Lawless that now finished last. So I kind of like that in the Football Terrace world because Lawless is doing a forfeit 2 weeks running. But Palmer was great. I want to shout out Maresca as well, though, here. His halftime change. Lavia had a really good first half, but he had to move Caicedo back into the middle. As soon as Caicedo went back into the middle, Spurs did almost nothing. They barely created chances. They were pinned back. And Chelsea overall became a stronger outfit. Without Caicedo, the midfield can be bypassed. And defensively, I still think Chelsea are weak. I still think they're a little bit, they're not a well-oiled machine yet. The Sanchez with his kick-in, positionally with some of the centre-backs. Kukurea slips their mistakes. I wouldn't call that bad defending per se. But 18 goals conceded, it's an area of worry. But when you've got Caicedo and now Enzo next to him in front, it was such a solid bank that it was difficult for Spurs to penetrate. Really hard for them. Trojan. It was Trojan level thickness and quality in the middle. And that for me is where Enzo Maresca earned his money today. That substitution, that tactical tweak, is what separated the two teams. You've got Big Ange there. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do now. By the way, horrendous from it. We'll get onto it in a minute. didn't do anything to counter that move from Enzo Maresca. Poor. But Chelsea, they fought back. They got their goals. They deserved the victory, by the way. 4-3, it makes it look like a closer game than it was. And I said this yesterday, and this is how you know I have the same energy. When you can see goals through almost comedic errors, like Cucurella slipping twice when you wouldn't expect it, it's hard to assess. It's hard to look at it and say, well, we were bad by 3 goals today. I had it yesterday with Man United. The individual players need criticism, like Onana not seeing the flight of the ball and Martinez watching the ball bounce in. But that doesn't deter from the performance I watched, because that is obscene level of mistakes that led to those moments. Outside of those mistakes, Chelsea were very, very good today, especially in that second half. The reason I mentioned the defense, that's an area I think you have to invest in. Goalkeepers, centre-backs, whatever it may be, in January, if you are to become champions. Being in the race and winning, a lot of people used to race Usain Bolt. They didn't beat him. The big advantage Liverpool have over Chelsea, and I believe that Chelsea are the highest goal scorers in the league now. The advantage Liverpool have is defensively, individually and as a unit. I think they're better right now. And attackers win you games, defenses win you titles. But Chelsea have got the base. Chelsea have got their dog back. Chelsea are looking sensational. Chelsea have grown so much this season. I remember stating that I thought Maresca was either going to be an absolute flop or he's going to get you back to the top. I didn't think he'd be this in-between team doing okay. And it's the latter. He's got you looking amazing. He's taken this squad and this project that is 2.5 years in now. The vision was always there from Chelsea. They just made mistakes with maybe a recruiter here or a director there, a head coach there, a few players at the beginning. But they stayed on course. They got rid of people quickly. They got rid of directors quickly. Oh, this scout ain't working. This negotiator isn't working. This coach isn't working. But we're still moving this way. Even when their owners fell out near the beginning of the season. And I remember talking about it, thinking, how is this going to help Chelsea progress? A few weeks later, you see them together at a game. No word since. Clearly resolved the issue to a point to put the team on the football pitch first. And you've seen now the fruits of their labor. They're not ready to be picked yet. The fruit ain't ready yet. You got to win the major trophies, but you can see it growing. You can see it developing. You can look at it and go, that's going to be some ripe orange, I couldn't think of a blue fruit. I don't know if there is any blueberries. They're going to be tasty blueberries. You can see what they've been cooking this whole time. And a lot of people that in the summer said horrendous window. I personally didn't go back and check. I thought the age and the profile of player you were buying was great. I thought Sancho would be a good buy. I thought Neto was an excellent buy. I felt that sticking with Jackson, still think you could add more to the attack. Tosin, who I still don't think you've seen enough of yet, but just the age profile, those 24, 25, 26-year-old players is what your youngsters needed. And you've just started to get it right. And my prediction at the start of the season, go back and watch it. You'll become title contenders this campaign. It's exactly what has happened. And I just want to say congratulations to you, because there's one thing someone like me, a football fan, predicting what would happen. And there's another thing your team going out there and doing it. Phenomenal today in each and every single way. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And yes, you've got to work on the defensive side, and we'll probably pick that up with the panel. But overall, out of this world. Now, on Tottenham. 19 defeats in the last 40 games. Can't keep a clean sheet. Big Ange. I mean, the game against City, celebrate it on the day. The game against City is the biggest anomaly ever. It's a fluke, bruv. Fluke. Absolute fluke. Big Ange today, rushing back into centre-backs. Coward. He's now injured them again. Even if he's gone, you've got some massive games coming up. You've lost them again. And by the way, Mickey van der Ven, that's his third hamstring injury in just over a year. You're going to ruin the player. I think, based on experience of watching football, fast players that have, 4 or 5 hamstring injuries, Michael Owen, Torres stands out. I know medicine is better now. You're going to ruin him. You're going to absolutely take his pace away. And a lot of people predicted this a year ago. As a team, there's almost no mentality. There's almost no strength of mind. They couldn't become compact. Basuma, that tackle for the penalty, joke. Absolute joke. But they're on the field of play, they behave how the manager essentially talks. They say they have high standards, but as soon as I heard Big Ange say, we play one way and we'll never sort of veer away from that, it was a red flag. That's a problem. Unless you have the best team in the world, you have to be able to adapt. Every now and then we've seen him do it. I was a little bit deeper with his line today. Oh, today was quite compact, but the lack of consistency in it is crazy. His team play like headless chickens, and they did that today. They were 2-0 up at home, and it is inexcusable to lose from that position. Inexcusable. And it was so early. If you're given a 2-0 head start in a game at home, you cannot go and concede 4 and lose. I don't know whether they're going to sack him or not. I don't think sacking Big Ange actually improves Tottenham in the medium to long term. There'll be some short-term success for all the idiots that think that just changing managers at a club as rotten as Tottenham. And I'm talking rotten from a mentality point of view towards winning. Financially, it's an absolute gold mine. It really, really is. Top of the charts for all of that sort of stuff. But Tottenham fans should feel embarrassed today. Tottenham fans should be angry today. Tottenham fans should be looking at some of these players. They should be looking at Big Ange, but most of all, they should be looking at Levy. Some will say, well, he don't pick the team, but he sets the tone. He sets the culture. Him and his team are a cold, hard light a day, are responsible. Terry, you don't have the same energy for your club? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Turns out when you read the reports of that, it was probably the right thing to do at this stage to get rid of Dan Ashworth. There were problems, made some bad decisions, cost us money. It's the right thing now to get rid of him. But you've still got to hold Ineos accountable for hiring the dud in the first place. I have the exact same energy for my football club, and I don't deviate from that. Today is horrendous, and it isn't the first time in Tottenham's history this has happened either. In my lifetime, they've been leading United 2-0 once at halftime and 3-0 once at halftime and gone on to lose the game. This is on par with that in every single which way. It really, really, and this time it's to one of your biggest local rivals. Horrendous. Spurs fans who want to hear from you, want to get your views and your opinions. In your view, does Big Ange have to go? Will that actually change anything? Will the fans stand up, or will they just keep rolling over and having their little bellies tickled? Remember, this time last year, you were singing, "We've got our Tottenham back." You didn't. I don't know what your Tottenham even is. I'm not digging you out. I'm asking you questions here. Let us know in the comment section below. Let's do some more of your super chats because I want to know what you're all thinking, feeling, and saying before the panel starts to come out today to have their say. Let's have a little look here. Coward seriously going into a game with only one fit centre-back. Yeah, I do think he's a coward. He's played 2 players injured, and now he's taken them out for longer periods. He's put their seasons at risk. He's put you under bigger damage. You have an academy full of players. Pick 2 centre-backs from there and make them play. If you lose the game, you lose the game. You lost anyway, and you've gone and injured your 2 centre-backs. That's a coward's approach, in my opinion. So what is he meant to do? Pick academy players. Basuma stupid. Is that on the manager? No, I said you can blame players as well. I haven't. You must have listened to what I just said. This is not all on your manager. I don't think sacking him makes you will make you an exponentially better club over each month that goes by. I think that comes from the board. But Big Ange still must take criticism. His approach to the Premier League doesn't work. His team have lost 19 of his last 40 Premier League games, and that is unacceptable on every single level. For by the way, one of the richest teams in the world. A team that spends huge amounts of money. You do. 3-point lane, never in doubt. Class second half from us. Fair play, Enzo. We haven't beat Brentford in 5 games. Let's effing have them while we are at it, is what Nick says. Rivals, e.g. Egal, said my team was finished. This is the one thing I'd say about everyone that says teams are finished. You always get this. I've had it all day today. Terry United are in the mud. We are right now. You're done. Why don't you just admit you're never going to be good again? Because that's just a stupid opinion to have. Based on, if you just look through history, based on history, which often repeats itself, over the course of time, your team is going to turn things around again at some stage. And Chelsea were always going to get somewhere near back to the top, whatever that looks like for Chelsea fans. So, yeah, anyone who said they're done forever, that was always a stupid opinion. Chelsea is in the title race, in my opinion. Chelsea, you must. Well, you're 4 points off top, almost halfway through the season. You're there. January is massive. The players handling the pressure is massive. But I've got a feeling you might be able to go on a run. Liverpool are still the favourites, in my opinion. But you're in the race. Last season, we were called the billion-dollar bottle jobs. Look at us now. Yeah, the turnaround's impeccable. The turnaround is impeccable. How funny would it be if it would be for Arsenal to compete for the last 3 years, hoping once City slip, they win. But once they did, Liverpool and Chelsea are taking advantage. Yeah, that would hurt a lot. That would hurt one hell of a lot. It really would. Sorry, I've already done that super chat there. That would hurt them no end. DR here says, Palmer, the best player in the world. Sanchez has to be sold. Jackson stinker, but we still won somehow. Remember, we have a championship manager at the wheel. Thank you, DR. Mistakes happen. Kukurea, fine, as long as it's not repeated. In a different game, you mean? He did the same thing. He had the wrong boots on. That's all it was. Forget the 3 goals we conceded, but our mentality 15 games in is massive. Keep the blue flag flying high. I'm not going to lie. When I was watching the game, the one thing I was seething about had nothing to do with Spurs or Chelsea. I was looking at it saying, that's why I wanted a pre-season with the new manager. For fuck's sake. I was just angry at my own situation. But no, you're right. And this is the thing. I messaged Ches in the group chat during the game, and mistakes at the back of predominantly what have cost Chelsea their goals this season. That may be what stops you winning the league this year. But January is only 3 weeks away. Go and solve the problem. You've got the money. Your owners are willing to spend. It's as simple as that. Ronin here says that Panenka was cold. Palmer is a menace. Yeah, the celebration was mad as well. I was laughing. Now we're seeing the real Enzo Fernandez. Listen, listen, I'll say this bluntly. Whatever you've seen from him before in the Chelsea shirt, it's never been as good as this last month. This is what you expect from a £100+ million player. Yes, he didn't put his price tag on himself, but there is an expectation. Like on all the 80, 90, 100+ million pound players, from Maguire right through to Enzo Fernandez, there is an expectation upon them. It's the nature of the beast. He is now stepping up to that. And anyone who criticized him before, and I did plenty when he deserved it, Again, I'm just a man, I just consider myself like a normal human being, a normal man. I'm now going to praise him for doing well. I don't have any agenda against him. I'm not going to go, yeah, well, it's about fucking time. He's doing it, so you praise him. I'm 38 years old. I can't do the agendas. I'm not a baby. Do you know why I can't do that baby stuff? Because one day my kids are going to probably see what I do online. And I don't ever want my kids to look at me and say, Dad, why have you got an agenda? Why are you being a mug? Do you know what I'm saying? And they know the meaning of that word. It's you've got to be honest. One day, my kids will see it. I don't ever want them to see me be that type of person. Be vile. Bro, such a huge win. I was nervous at 2-0. Of course you were nervous. You had to be. It was a horrific start. But, I mean, I did put a bet on at 2-0 down that you guys would win. That's how much faith I had in Chelsea beating Spurs today. Nice little... I think it went to 3-1 at that point. That's when you put I don't put bets on before games. I get the first 10, 15 minutes out of the way, and then I have a little responsible flutter. Where are all the haters now? They Chelsea fans are delusional. They said Maresca was going to be the first to get sacked. Shut up. Second place, hold that, is what Blue Nation TV says. Made sense. The crowd was throwing trash onto the pitch because the club is in the bin. Up the Chelsea. Yeah, now they've lost. It makes that look even worse, doesn't it? What happened to the Spurs kid that used to come on? Oh, Harry. Yeah, he's gone, mate. I don't know where. Just staying on the terrace. Spurs cannot complain about injuries, and playing style is killing the players. The style online works when the players are 2 times better than other teams. Yeah, listen, Van der Ven's 3rd hamstring injury in a year, and he's young, bruv. Hamstring shouldn't be going at that age. Just you're overplayed. Palmer has scored against all the big 6 teams aside Liverpool. Oh, this could be the year to do it then, in the title race. Bro, stop acting like a child. Team done does not mean forever. No, no. That's nonsense. There are definitely rival fans that came on this show and said Chelsea are done, kaput, finished, and never getting back to the top. I'm not being a child by stating an unadulterated fact that this was said. 100%. Do you know how I know? I'm on every show. KJ then puts the clips out and I watch them. I watch a lot of our content back. I remember this shit. I've also got notebooks galore, all in my drawers. From all the shows, I take notes, what people say. About 15 notebooks. It's all in there somewhere. So, yeah, 100%. I don't take notes, by the way, to catch anyone out. I take notes, remember what people are saying during the stream so I can ask questions about it. It's just called being a pro. I said when we finish 12th, I will take banter from everyone, bar Spurs fans. You now see why these guys are absolutely shit. Listen, we're below them in the league and I still won't take fucking banter off them. Because my team is shit right now. But I'm so happy I ain't Spurs. they cheer me up. They make me feel better. At least we win some trophies, you know what I mean? Even at 2-0 down, I knew we were winning, is what God's will says here. Long time no see, Goswell. Hope you're well, bro. What happened? Oh, sorry, already done that. Super chat. Jerome here says Spurs does not deserve any winners. They deserve a Steve Cooper because they were never a top 6 club. Absolute joke of a club is what Jerome says here. First time since 2002, Chelsea have won a match at 4:30. Fuck off. Really? That can't, maybe it's true. I don't know. I'm going to take your word for it. That is the craziest stat I have heard all day. Mad. Maresca changed my life. Sanchez, what a game. I'm going to maybe burst your bubble a bit here. Maresca's doing brilliant. Sancho, amazing. Your current people making football decisions at your club, they are the ones who deserve the credit. They are the ones that made the decisions to bring these people in. We have to learn who are the most important people at our clubs, not just the ones who we see on TV. Trust me. Trust me. No, Terry, these men are not our rivals. We do not sit at the same table. Right. Geographical rivals. I hear you. Jerome again here says, those players can't finish, can't defend, and I'm so tired of them. Lost their heads again, but blame the manager. Useless bunch of players. Levy out. I think it's a combination, my friend. I think you can look at Levy, the players, and the manager all at the same time. I think that can be done. And we had loads of Spurs fans backstage. They've all disappeared. Where are you gone? Fucking hell. All the Spurs fans are gone. You know they don't mean it, Terry. Oh, maybe they did. That's for them to come on there and say they were lying. It's not for me to say. I'm just telling you what they said, brother. Salah on a 2-year deal. Has that been done? Is that official? I don't know. I've seen the story, and then I read up on who the person that put the story out was. Let me just check here. Nothing from Ornstein, so I don't believe it right now. Fans, players, owners, groundskeepers, every aspect of Spurs is and has always been the opposite of Chelsea. It's embedded in the culture of the club. This could also be very, very true. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. We are back, is what GTA billionaire has got to say to us here. A good attack wins you matches, but defenses win your titles. Live forever. I think that's why most Chelsea fans want new goalkeeper and some new centre-backs as well. We'll come back to some more of your comments a little bit later in the show. We're going to bring the panel out now. David, Ches, Winter Surfer are here with us. We did have Jacob and Deji and a few others backstage, but they've gone. They have turned into cakes and they've scone. Gentlemen, welcome back to the terrace. Congratulations on the big win. No Spurs fans at the moment. They bottled being backstage as well. What is this? What is this? Their Wi-Fi connections bottled it, did they? Unbelievable. This is just I can't have it, man. They're gone. They're gone. I mean, David, massive win to come from behind. 4 points off the top. Break the game down for us, mate.
Well, they got 2 goals out of Kukureya's boots. Kukureya's boots were man of the match, apart from maybe cardboard. That is the genuinely right. When Kukureya made his mistakes, they got their 2 goals, and they were actually playing us very well at that point. They were pressing us really high, getting in our faces, and I was like, "Oh, this could be a long day." David, I just checked. Kukureya's boots XG was 3.5. So crazy. It's off the scale. So as soon as Sancho scored his goal, which by the way, unbelievable finish. I was like, we're not losing this game. I knew as
Same.
soon as that happened, we weren't losing that game. We were not losing that game. At that point, it was like, we've shown up now. We've given you your 10 minutes. Now Chelsea are here. We were playing like we were drunk. Genuinely, it looked like Sunday League.
That's what I said.
One of the boys had a wedding anniversary the day before. You know what I mean? Everyone was just battered. It was crazy.
Like last season. It's like last season, though, where we started slow last season. And they scored.
It was just a weird watch. Those first 10 minutes were a really weird watch. Like everything was just going wrong. Then we scored the goal. Then Spurs. Then do you know who I actually think gave the game away for Spurs? Apart from even the players, the fans. Every time we got near the goal, every time someone had the ball, they were just throwing cardboard at us. What was going on? Why were they doing it? It didn't make sense. I was like, are you that scared that every single man and woman in that stadium was like, we've got to get the cardboard out, throwing it on the field, corner, pelted with the stewards. The stewards played more minutes than half our squad's done all year. It was crazy. They were on their heat map was crazy. It was weird. At 2-1, half time happens, and I was watching Sky Sports, and Paul Mercer was like, Chelsea are not losing this game because it's Spurs, bro. And as soon as that second half started, oh my God, they did have a prayer in hell. They were pinned back the whole second half. Never any threat at all. Palmer with the penalty and the dribbling for his second penalty as well. I mean, for Enzo's goal. It's ridiculous. A doggy, to be fair to him, had a really
That's
good
on the
game.
top of the corner. That's on the top of the corner.
It was really well done. The dog had a really good game. And then Palmer went past him and he went past this guy, that guy, bow. And then obviously he took the shot and it went right back to Enzo, Enzo's now finally arrived, which is great to see as well. He's finally playing the level that we thought he should be playing at. And it's just, everything's just going well right now. But I'm a chill guy, okay? My hands are in my trousers, in my pockets. I'm chilling because I'm not meant to be here. I'm just enjoying the weather up here. The weather's nice. It's cool. The air's it's fresh. You know what I mean? I ain't got to look down the table to see where my team is.
No one's musting us. No one's telling us we must. No one's telling us.
Where we sit in the table right now, isn't it?
We're second. Do you know what? We're second. It's second. Do you know what I mean? 4 points. Second.
What phase are we in? 1.5 million spent? Bottle drop?
I don't even know. We're in phase chill guy.
I want to praise. I want to praise my manager again. I'm going to call him my manager. I know he's head coach, but I want to praise my manager again for what he did at halftime. He took. I've just seen the picture out of Lavia. Is actually he got elbowed in the head by Kulusevski. It was actually a cut. Kulusevski's elbow cut his head. But the change he made at halftime was to bring Lavia off, and he put Gusto at right back, moved Caicedo back into the middle, swapped Colwell and Badiashile on sides because Badiashile wasn't having a good time on the right hand side, and then we dominated them. I agree with David. We dominated. I only had a couple more chances after we scored the first, but essentially, I think from the 17th minute of this game, this was our game. This was our game, and we I know they scored a third at the end, but I think if it was still 3-2, if we didn't have that penalty, I think we would have seen it out 3-2. I think we just took our foot off the pedal a bit because we went 4-2 up, and it was like 10, 15 minutes left, and we were controlling. Cucurella was good as soon as he changed his boots, but after that, they didn't do anything. Can I just say, Sancho was personally my man of the match today. Sancho did everything right today. This was the best game I've seen him play for England. I have to admit, I didn't see all his games for Manchester United, so I'm prepared to be proven wrong. But he was sensational today. And Enzo Fernandez, I'm not going to say what has obviously happened in his personal life, but that seems to be working for him.
I'll say it. Since he became a shagger, he's been a very good football player. Since he's been putting it about a bit, no disrespect, like since he got divorced and he's been having a bit here, having a bit there, having a bit of a push and a pull, he's become a better football player. I've always said, I think young football players get married too young, and it leads to them doing a madness. And instead, he's gone, I'm just going to do the right thing and leave, right? As in, right thing for the relationship. And he's become a better football player. He certainly has. No, but listen, I think we
can I just say as well? Sancho did have a very Sanchez pulled off a good save in the second half, 1-on-1. He didn't do anything badly in the second half for me because we get the ball away from him. But I got to credit him for that save he made. I think it was against Son.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Yeah, I just want to shout out. There's a few super chats here. First one's to Kate. That said, Kate, by the way, it says here, I've never not turned up to a win, lose, or a draw, but I've got a migraine. You can't banter me. I know that who we are. In fairness, Kate, you told us earlier that you wouldn't be on, so that's it. But we've had Spurs fans backstage who left. Come on now, Deji. Come on now, Jacob and some others that were there. Even like young Daniel. I don't like to call him out so much. He's only a young man, but I've not even seen him for weeks. He's always here when they win. Where you at? Come and chat your thing. Where's Mr. Box Office? Orchy, where are you guys? Henry Wright, where are you melt?
Chatty Patty. Where's Chatty Patty?
Chatty Patty. You've had Diary George. Where are you all? Let's be having you.
I don't think it matters, bro. Doesn't matter. You guys, I've been saying that for a year. It doesn't matter. There is no point of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club other than just jokes and banter. They are considered a top club. They sign top talent. They never let top talent go. What is the point? They are not a top 6 club. They will never be. They're just there by name. People don't understand this. Looking from outside. You guys, with all due respect, the 4 of you live in England. I live in America. Spurs are irrelevant. When I did an Arabic show a year and a half ago, we did top 5. Why? There are no Spurs fans in the Arab world. There is not a lot of Spurs fans. Son is keeping them relative in Asia. That is the reality. Brad Friedel kept them. With all due respect, listen, Kate, magnificent. Patrick, amazing. Deji, great. Jacob, fantastic. But as a football club, there is no point. They won't win the Premier League. They won't win the Champions League. There is no point of them other than other rivals sitting down and laughing at them. Chelsea, even Arsenal, the whole point is them to rival Arsenal. I'm being serious. I am sorry for everyone that live outside of England that support Tottenham Hotspur. You better support Brighton or Southampton. At least your hopes will not be up to win trophies. Every single manager that comes in for Spurs, they keep saying we're going to win trophies with them. Your hope is to win a Carabao Cup. Wigan won a Carabao Cup. With all, everyone can win a cup. There is no. I'm being serious. I'm tired. I am tired of this. We keep doing shows. We keep saying Spurs with Henry and all of this, and they come. Oh, our squad is better than Arsenal. All right, it's better than Arsenal. What is it gonna do? Is it gonna do something? You know that it's not. Exactly. You might have the best striker in the history of the Premier League. What did he do? Nothing. Nothing. He left. At the end, you can have the best players. You know, our team is better than Chelsea, better than Man United. All right, great, good for you. 1-0. Okay, what's the point? Nothing. I'm sorry for every Spurs fan. I'm sorry. The people that live in North London, I get it. You live close to the club. You lived all your life. I respect you. I appreciate you. I have been to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I've seen the passion of the local fans. I've walked with them. They're absolutely fantastic people. They're very, very amazing and welcoming. But as a football club, there's no point. It's no point.
No, listen, I agree, which is why if we beat Brentford and Everton in the next 2 weeks, I'll probably treat them as equal or more because of our recent record against Brentford and Everton. Because I only big up because I just heard Spurs will always turn up in big games. You did first 15 minutes, and then that was it. Then we controlled it all. But you're right, fundamentally, Mario. Like I said, I understand older Tottenham fans supporting Tottenham. I have no idea why in this new generation, unless your family is a whole Tottenham, why you would support Tottenham. I just don't know.
Or your dad is there, or you like the player from like back in the day.
I get that. We'll come back to that in a minute. Ches, what are you here to say? What's in your mind today, my friend?
The main thing that I'm extremely happy about is the mentality of my players. The mentality shift from last year to this year is one of the main things. If you've noticed, there's a trend. When behind against Arsenal came back. When behind against Man U came back. When behind against Liverpool came back. City's the anomaly, first game of the season, his first game. I can give that a blie. But the rest of the tests we've shown this season against top clubs, we've come back. Even against the smaller teams, we've always come back. And that is a difference between this year and last year. Yes, the quality's improved. Yes, the tactics have been tweaks here and there. But the mentality of the players has changed dramatically. And that's why, when I was telling people beginning of the season that Maresca winning the league and Slot winning the league in their respective leagues last season is actually a big deal because they have the mentality to win installed in the way they're progressing the team, in the way they're speaking to the team. You see? That's the main difference. And today you saw it again. Ask Dave and Andrew, who are right here with me, at 2-0 down on my own live stream, shout out Chesney and I on my channel, I was not worried one bit. Obviously, I was annoyed. Terry, I was even making jokes. I was like, they're probably drunk. You saw me on the chat. I wasn't even angry. Why? Because I had confidence my team was going to come back. Even when we were 2-0 down, we were the better team. And Spurs fans, I'm hearing online on chats telling me they had loads of chances. Where? Chelsea created all the chances. Chelsea dominated that game of football. And the only reason I'm concerned is because, unlike some people, I actually want to aspire to win the league. So I don't mind saying my team's in a title race. I don't mind the pressure. We're in it until we're not. So if you want to call me bottle job in December, that's on your own doing. Yeah. But for me, I would like to say my team is proving everybody wrong. That's why when I was back in my ownership, look at the Terrace clips all the way from last year, 2 years ago, and people telling me I was crazy. People telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, look, I'm above all your teams, all of them. So we say now, don't chat to me about what I know and what I don't know. Because when I was back in my ownership, Todd Bowley and that, and it was like, ask me the same fucking questions every week. Is your team finished? Is your team finished? What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? Now look. And the only reason why we're such bozos is because with Charity FC, we give teams goals. We actually gave Spurs 2 goals and they still couldn't win. Don't talk to me about Spurs. I want to hear that crap club. They offer nothing. They win nothing. Don't focus on them. They're the same rubbish. We recycle the same speech every fucking month. They'll win here. They'll lose here. Let's speak about my club being second. That's bigger. That's the biggest talking point because no one predicted it to happen. Nor did I, by the way. Yeah. But I need respect. I don't hear revisionism. Your team's actually good now. You wasn't saying that 3 months ago. Because in the prediction,
it was when João Felix going to change.
So what? David. So what do you want? So what should people that have predicted Chelsea's season wrong say in your opinion then? Because what I will say, hang on. So you want people to come on the football So you want people to come on the football terrace and not give opinions and speak anymore?
You're being too specific. I'm just saying in a general sense.
Okay,
when it comes to people telling me, maybe your squad was quite good. I don't want to hear that.
Well, I think we have to
not you in particular. Because Terry, you backed our teams. I'm not going to talk about you in particular.
I know that. I'm not taking it personally. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand because the one thing I would say, the only thing I disagree with what you're saying is.
Go on, go on.
No, is that the reason that you're on Twitter or in Spaces or on YouTube is to have football conversations, and you, like the rest of us, get things wrong. If the response when people get things wrong is I never want to hear you speak again, in a year we're all going to be sitting here in silence.
Yeah,
that's the only bit I disagree with.
The difference is, though, Terry, I hear what you're saying, but they went to too many extremes. That's what I don't like. I was hearing before the season started. Ask David and Andrew, as fellow Chelsea fans, you might not make top 5.
Yeah,
your squad's the 6th best in the league. Stuff like that. Right?
Where is João Felix going to get changed? Where is he getting changed?
Yeah, why'd you get rid of Chalobah? Why'd you get rid of Mount?
Why did you treat Gallagher this way? Do you not know what Gallagher did?
All of that stuff again.
One second. What happened to the Poch? What happened to Poch to the stage? What happened to stability? What happened to your club? Don't know what they're doing. They're a mess. What happened to all that crap?
All of that stuff there, especially about your squad size, is crazy. The stuff about how much you've spent, all the stuff that you said that you've spent, as I used to say to so many people, half of what you spent is on players that will never play for you, that you're going to sell for a profit in the future. And people got a lot of that wrong. There's absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. And listen, I think it would be great to hold them to account on that. I wanted to ask you about a specific player's performance today to the Chelsea fans. Sancho, he's had a lot of praise. He was excellent. But Enzo Maresca, I know I've already touched on him. What did you make of him today, Ches, and his growth in the last sort of 5 to 6 weeks?
Enzo Fernandez, you meant, yeah.
Enzo Fernandez, sorry.
He's been, I think what's the difference is the tactics-wise. He's been told to do less defending and more crashing the box. But also defensively, he's actually improved. Today, he didn't get beat a lot in terms of tackles, 1v1s. He's sometimes like positioning on the pitch. That's improved a lot. And Maresca's kind of tweaked his game where he's a lot more of a box crusher rather than being as a traditional 10. Because 10s are being told to create more, to be a bit more robust, like Cole Palmer did with that goal Enzo scored, where he's in and out, weaving between. He's not that kind of midfielder. Enzo is literally a get the ball, pick your head up, make that progressive pass, or crush the box. And at the moment, I'll emphasize that he's getting the balance correct because his last 5 games, he's got, I think, 3 goals and 5 assists, something dumb like that. something crazy like that. And by the way, against Spurs and Arsenal and other positions, it's not just small teams; it's a range of teams.
Not Noah's.
Yeah, so it's not just Noah. It's Arsenal. Today you got to go on and Sancho. By the way, Terry, thanks for that. By the way, yeah, love for that. 25 M's, and you get Mount.
Mount hang on again. Mount weren't part of the deal. He weren't part of the deal. What are you talking about?
Hey, there's no rules. We're just celebrating.
We're just celebrating.
Thank you for Mount because he helped us win an FA Cup, which is more important than a win over Spurs.
I'll tell you what the difference is with Enzo.
No rules. I up you on that one.
Sorry, let me tell you what the difference with Enzo. He's actually been coached. He's actually been coached. Unlike the last few years.
Why don't you put your camera above your screen so when you're talking, you're looking at us? It'd help.
No, I just no, I'm doing it that way. No. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna peer pressure me.
I'm just a suggestion, just a professional courtesy.
Before you ask some questions yet, Jordan's face right now. It's making me.
Yeah, by the way, Terry, can I quote Jordan, by the way? Terry, can I quote Jordan?
Hello guys. Long time no see. It's good to be back on the terrace. It's been a while. And I saw, do you know, I wasn't actually going to come on, but I saw there was no Spurs fans apparently showing up. So I thought, we're not going to have this when no Spurs fans show up and apparently everyone's running. So I thought I'm going to come through and show face for the community. But do you know what?
It was just
it's one of them ones. Go on, sorry, go for it.
I just want to say, who's the gent at the bottom row with all us lot, the Middle Eastern guy? Because I just heard his rant. Yeah, what's your name, mate? Because I see you all the time.
Mo.
And I just heard the rant about Spurs. Excuse me?
Yes, Mo.
Yeah, so you're saying the Spurs are irrelevant. Listen, Terry knows this. I accept that our ownership, the biggest problem for Spurs is Levy, right? And the way ENIC run that club. But for you to turn around and say Tottenham is not relevant, look in the last 14 years, how many times Tottenham made it to the Champions League. Before you run off your mouth like that, get your facts right, my friend. All right, I'll accept criticism. I'll accept that the team has been shit. I'll accept that certain players haven't performed well. But since 2010, for the last 14 years, just go back and check how many times Tottenham have qualified for the Champions League. So before you say they're irrelevant, and we made it to the final, by the way. When was the last time Arsenal made it to the Champions League final? So before you chat shit, get your facts right. That really annoyed me, to be honest. Your little rant. And also in Poch's season, when the guy didn't have for 2 seasons, he didn't have a single player bought for him. The man came second in 1 year and then third in the next year. So for you to turn around and say Tottenham have done nothing, yes, we haven't won anything. I accept that. And we, like the real Tottenham fans, we know the real reason isn't any of the managers. Because we've had people like Jose Mourinho, we've had people like Conte. The real problem, as I've been saying for a very long time, is Levy and ENIC. Until they turn around, when we need to, this summer just gone, we brought in Dominic Solanke, but then we went and spent 100 million on a bunch of teenagers who are not yet, we don't know. They might turn out to be fantastic players in a season or two, but we needed some ready-made stars. And they haven't, and they always keep doing this. Every time we're so close to breaking that glass ceiling, Levy and ENIC let us down.
No. Please, Chaz. No.
What you said,
Orchy, my man, I know your name. You're Orchy. I watch the Football Terrace. I respect your opinion. You're a very calm fan. Can you just answer me? What is the point of Tottenham Hotspur?
Listen, we are Tottenham Hotspur. Historically, are one of the top English sides. But
are you better?
Yes. Tottenham is historically one of the top British sides ever in the history of football.
Can I just interject here? And say, what is the point of any football club? Is to win things and eventually do good things.
No, you're wrong. George, your mic is too loud. It's very crazy.
Sorry. Okay. But we do live in a Premier League period where we all know that pretty much most of our owners are looking at our clubs like a cash machine. It's the same with the United board. It's the same with Liverpool board. It's the same with, but every now and then they get it right. Now, for a start, Chelsea fans, You've been in the mud for ages, so I don't know what you're piping about because you haven't.
I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm not a Chelsea fan.
All right, that's fine. But like the Chelsea fans are laughing. Well done, congratulations, you won the game today. But what have you actually achieved? Yes, I know you've had that golden era when you won Premier Leagues and whatever. But for a long time, just like Man United, you've also been in the mud as well. You've done F4. So I don't know. The only people that can come here and give chest are Man City fans. And to a certain extent, yes, Arsenal are up there. And they might win the league this season, they might not. But they've also failed in the last 4 or 5 seasons. When you look at it, Arsenal haven't exactly done much. You know, yeah, they've been very close. They're playing really good football. They've got a fantastic squad, but they haven't really done much. So the only people that I will take...
You mean recently? We're talking recent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm
about to say, Man United with 20 league titles haven't done much. I was about to shit my pants. Okay, cool.
Again, Manchester United are like in the last 10 years or so, they've been sort of in the mud. Like since Alex Ferguson has left, Terry, Man United, but they are one of the greatest club. Well, they are probably the greatest football club, along with maybe you can argue Liverpool as well, in the history of football. So unless you're a United fan, Liverpool fan, and in recent years, Man City fan, nobody else can come on here and give that much chest. And all I'm saying is I'm not going to take it from Chelsea fans, like making it like...
There are no chest. There are no chest, my friend.
We haven't even hit Christmas yet. You don't know how...
No chest.
No. He said, and I quote, what have Chelsea done recently? I won the Champions League 3.5 years ago. What are you talking about? I beat. But bear in mind, can I just say as well? This game is a microcosm for your club. You were 2-0 up in 10 minutes. You all thought you had won the game, and look at you all crumble. You crumble like paper.
After 10 minutes.
Orchy,
probably our best defender right now, along with Van der Ven, went off again. The guy just came back, and then 10 minutes later, he had to go off. We haven't got the players. We've said we accept that we haven't got the players. We've got a shit squad.
Orchy, since I've been alive, you've beaten me in my ground once. I've done that more times in the past 3 years.
Yeah, we've beaten you plenty of times at
White Hart Lane. You've beaten us 8 times since '92, home and away.
You've won 8 times in the Premier League against us. 8 times in 34 years.
You know what you're doing right now?
One at a time, guys. One at a time. We really can hear.
Orchy, the problem is right now you're crashing out, which basically means your head's gone and you're basically start flaring your arms.
No. My head isn't gone, mate. All I'm saying is
because you're not really saying anything.
No, we know Tottenham squad is shit. We know it's not good enough. We know there is not enough depth. I didn't come on here at all this season and said, "Oh, we've done fantastic business in summer." I've been pissed off since the summer because we went and got Dominic Solanke in, but then we at least needed another 2 or 3 players at the level with the experience of Dominic Solanke, but we didn't. We went and bought a bunch of teenagers.
I don't know why you're so upset. Chelsea always beat you at your stadium. I don't know why you're crashing out so much.
Don't always beat us.
I mean, look, we've had this debate. I appreciate what you've said, but just for the Mo's an Inter Milan fan. So, are you more relevant than Inter Milan in your view? Just want to ask that question.
What do you mean?
Are you more relevant than his team, Inter Milan?
Well,
what do you mean?
Basically, this being a top 6 show and this being English Premier League show, then I would say because Inter Milan is an English club.
Yeah, your question.
That makes a little bit of sense. But yeah, everyone is welcome on the Football Terrace, no matter who you support, no matter where you're from. I know you didn't say where you're from. But look, I mean, I know there's loads to talk about there. On Tottenham, right? I want to go to my friend Jacob because it was a shit show today again. 19 defeats in your last 40 games. You probably don't want to break the game down. But the question I have for you is it time, in your opinion, for Big Ange to take his big P45 and go?
Not sure if we've lost Jacob.
He's frozen.
Yeah,
I think I can answer that question now. Go on, George. All right. So I'll take over from here and just let you know that look, today was a bad day. But
Wi-Fi bottled it again.
Today was a bad day, but it's not a day where I look and I say Ange is at fault or the performance from Ange or he could have done something from the bench to change up. There wasn't really much Ange could do with the team provided to him. Unluckily, look, I think what was unfortunate for us today is that we got the 2 goals up, and because we went 2-0 up so early, it allowed Chelsea to just take over the game because we didn't have to go for the goals anymore. They took over the game, and that Sancho goal really good, nice and early, built the confidence up from them. And I feel like from there you could see head was gone, mentality was gone, typical Spurs way. The head goes down.
Romero went off as well, really early. Romero went off.
I'm not gonna sit here and complain about Romero going on. Wait, Mo, can I finish, please?
No,
please,
but they played with Badiashile, guys. They had Badiashile at the back.
Mo. I was just gonna say that. I'm not gonna complain about Romero going off because we had Dragusin come on, and Dragusin had a pretty decent performance. He plays in his position. We can't complain about that. At the end of the day, we were 2-0 up, 2-1 up. The team's heads dropped at one goal. You could tell after the one goal conceded, we needed to get that third goal. We didn't finish the 2 chances when Pape Sarr hit the crossbar.
Whose fault, George? Whose fault, George? Whose fault? Is it?
I'm going to sit here and say the midfield.
Is it Ange or is it the captain?
I look at
is it Son? There has to be someone,
George.
There has to be someone.
I don't feel like I'm not going to sit here and say it's Ange's fault. I don't feel like Son was at fault. Son missed a few big chances.
Okay, why the heads dropped, George? Why?
Again, that's something that I can't sit here and point at the manager. That's typical with Spurs. It's been with Spurs over the last couple of years. The players that we've got there are too many nice guys. And when you're a nice guy, you're not going to be in for the battle. You're not there for the war. When you concede one goal, when you're 2-0 up, it's like, game's done. We can go away with a draw now. And then the heads go. It's typical Spurs way. I'm not going to sit here and point at the manager because the manager is not instilling this in the team. The manager wants different players. And I feel like once we get different players, a different squad, he'll be able to do better. But unfortunately, there's only so much he can do with the players that are made available. You saw the changes that we brought off the bench. Who was he looking at? We had to bring off Archie Gray, Bergvall, Maddison, all these players playing out of position, sort of just filling in spaces because that's all we have available. He didn't get the best squad provided to him in the summer, but I'm not going to do the thing is, let's talk about the summer, let's talk about Levy. That's all dead. At the end of the day, the performance today was 2-0 up. There's no excuses. You can't give away a 2-goal lead. It's individual errors. And I look at Basuma. The game was lost in the midfield. Chelsea's midfield outdone us. I was watching that game thinking I was watching Manchester United because there was no midfield. There was 2 players just pushing forward, and then Basuma trying to. He's not a number 6. He can't cover our defense. So we know what to expect with that. And then the stupid bozo goes lunging in for a tackle. Both of the penalties are very silly. The players are going away from goal. Stupid to concede. And is what it is, isn't it? We can't sit here and give excuses. Chelsea done their thing. They played better than us. And we didn't deserve the points. We didn't deserve to win. We didn't put our chances away.
George, is it not Ange's fault for playing Van de Ven and Romero? Because it's clear those players. He said the players were ready. Can I explain my rationale? Can I explain? Especially as someone who gets injured a lot. I know for a fact that even if you're cleared medically, you can play. To go from nothing to then ramping up straight away and getting thrown in the derby is a recipe for a re-injury. Like you expected those centre backs to play.
But you do know that Romero's injury was completely different from his first one.
Guys, Romero injured the quad. He had a problem with the foot. It has nothing to do with it.
Romero again. They were both expected to be back for Thursday anyway. They've both had 2 or 3 weeks out. It was just a precaution, but they cleared themselves. If players tell you, "I'm good to play, boss," then they're gonna play again. Van de Ven didn't come off with another injury. Van de Ven just come off with a tight hamstring, which is natural. Yeah. But obviously, he would have came off naturally at the end of the game if we had another centre-back's option. But we didn't want to throw another centre-back in because only Archie Gray was on the bench. We had to make that.
Just from how quick they both have gone down. I don't think they were genuinely fit enough to play.
As a manager, I would have made that risk as well because playing Archie Gray and Dragusin at the back, we saw how.
And I think having a different view on that is fair. I mean, it's interesting. I wanted to ask you guys as well about a really big decision in the game. We haven't got to it yet. Before I do that, though, I want to shout out our title sponsor for today's show, NordVPN. If you're using the internet and you don't have protection, I'm going to be blunt. You're being a fool. You should not be using the internet without protection to make sure all your details, all your data, and all your information is private and protected. You can sign up now for free. No, you can't sign up for free. It does cost money. That's what I say about a different company that sponsors us. But you can sign up now. We'll give you an extra 4 months for free plus a gift if you scan the QR code on the screen now or click on the link that is pinned into the description or live chat feature. But go and check it out. Genuinely, it will make you a little fearful to use the internet without one. Anything from viruses through to somebody getting your personal details off of your bank account. If you've ever had a weird email, a spam email, or you've ever had a weird text from a company you don't know, that means your data has been harvested somewhere online and sold to dodgy people. If you're using a VPN, that simply stops happening. So get signed up now and get that done. There's a comment here that says, if Caicedo was sent off, the same for Kulusevski. What do we make of those decisions today? And if we get it back to the game in isolation for a moment, I'll throw this to Mo first. Do you think Caicedo should have seen red for his challenge in the first half?
I tell you honestly, when I was watching this, he was trying to kick the ball. He wasn't going for a tackle. I've seen it given a red before. I don't think he put the weight of his body behind his leg. It's very subjective, but I think it's a 50-50. I don't think any Chelsea fan would have complained if this was a red card, to be honest with you. But they measured it with the same stick with the Kulusevski elbow. So for me, they kind of went with the same thing. I think it's a 50-50. A lot of people are saying it's a red card. I played football. I know Caicedo wasn't going for a high foot. He was trying to kick the ball and just star landed there. If the referee gave it a red card, it would not have been reversed. But because he didn't give it as a red card, I don't think it's even worth going to the monitor because they saw the weight is not there. Romero one is different when he tackled and he completely went with the weight last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Of course, Enzo, like you remember the Bruno Fernandez one, it was definitely never a red card in my opinion, and they got that wrong. I think this one 50-50, but because the referee didn't give it, I didn't think it was a red card. Neither the elbow of Kulusevski, to be honest. He brushed his head from the side.
Spurs boys, what did you make? Do you feel that you were hard done by with the Caicedo challenge, or?
No, I didn't look at either of the challenges when I saw them actually play out and think there was anything more in it. I just saw obviously the tweets afterwards, people saying, "Oh, it's a red" and stuff, and I thought, "No, we're just being silly here, just clutching at straws." If we're being honest, I think the ref actually had a decent game, controlled the game pretty well. I don't actually think he got any decisions wrong. To be honest, I thought the referee had a good game. The penalty decisions were made very quickly, and they were right decisions both ways. So I don't really know what to say there. Like, there's no excuse.
Yeah, I think the second one, if anything, the second one was he did go down fairly easily. He just literally dropped as soon as Sarr went up behind him. He just kind of, because they were both. He was all right. He was being a bit physical behind him, but he didn't go and like completely smash him off the. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, you see those get given.
The penalties, I think the penalties are penalties. Sarr was very.
He was reckless. They're just clumsy.
The first, the Basuma tackle, 100% the penalty. What I liked about the second penalty was you don't often get those pushes in the back in the penalty box. You get them everywhere else on the pitch, but not in the penalty box, and it's 100% a foul. The more I watch Caicedo's, the more and more I think it isn't a red. But I still think he's lucky in the modern day game to get away without a red card. Because generally, if your studs hit someone's shin, whether you're trying to, if you've got the ball in possession and you shoot and follow through, no. But if you're trying to clear a ball or win possession of a ball and you miss and you make contact with your studs on someone's shin, most of the time you see red. So I thought he was lucky from the standard of modern day refereeing. I actually thought Kulusevski's was a red. The more I watch it, the more I think, why'd your elbow go across someone's face? I play football a lot. And I've definitely elbowed people. There's no reason for his elbow to be in the air. Like, I can't work out why his elbow's in the air. Doesn't make any sense.
No, that for me was like violent conduct red card.
Yeah.
Whereas like Caicedo's was like accidental red card. You know what I mean? Like there was a difference, but.
Yeah, no. He's again, they both got away. I mean, what you will say is they applied the same logic to both, that there wasn't enough force. But I don't get how they work out there isn't enough force on Lavia, where he's got a lump on his head and a cut. I mean, that means there's enough force, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? I remember when Jamie Carragher took out Luis Nani, and the referee afterwards basically said, no, there wasn't enough force. 17 stitches to stitch up his shin. Not enough force, though. Like, sometimes you've got to look at the injury and be like, well, there must have been some fucking force. But yeah, interesting one there. I wanted to get the viewers' take on that as well. To go to some of these super chats here. First one says, the point of Spurs is to find talent, sell them, and they become superstars elsewhere. Think Bale, Kane, Walker, Berbatov, Mudryk, Carrick.
It's not very true. We haven't been beaten up since
stopped that,
Walker, 10 years ago.
Those guys became superstars at Spurs, to be honest. They didn't become superstars after they left Spurs. They were superstars at Spurs. So.
Yeah, but that Spurs stopped that once the term top six actually came into when actually Man City started winning the league.
Yeah,
and the top six came, Spurs stopped.
And when you used to do that, again, I don't mean this is a dig. At least then there was a legitimate reason to go, well, this is why we don't go on to win things, because the way our model of our club is we sell our best players. When you start keeping them, there are less excuses to not win when you keep your better players for longer periods of time. Most successful club in the last 20 years, won the Champions League 2.5 years ago, been crap for 2 years due to the new owners, but we're irrelevant. Someone shut this guy up. That's obviously at you, Orchy. In 20 years, we have won 23 trophies, including 2 Champions Leagues, including one in 2001. What have Spurs won? I'll wait, is what Ad says here. Big clubs arguing about who qualified for the Champions League as a trophy is, as a wise man once said, a micro penis combo. That's probably me. He's calling a wise man there, Runin. Thank you. G here says, just stop by to give a bit of a heads up, because when we win this thing, we're going to be so effing loud for your Geds are going to explode. Listen, if Chelsea do win the lead, I don't know what Chez is going to do. Chez also doesn't want content anymore over it. He just has to shut the YouTube channels down.
Fine. That's fine. This is what I'm trying to say, though. Like last sort of 20 years, look, I know Chelsea have had a wonderful golden era. I'm not disputing that at all. The whole Mourinho, etc., all that. But it was in the 2000s. It's like even in the 2010s, they haven't been up there. You know, with the high standards that they set.
Won the
high standards that you guys have set. You were winning Premier Leagues, Champions League, FA Cups.
Orchy, you're just wrong. You're wrong. I won the Champions League in 2021.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's literally this decade.
Right. Yeah, but do you? All right, answer this question. Do you think that is up there with your sort of golden era, where you were winning Premier Leagues, Champions League?
Everyone can admit. Everyone can admit we've had a down period. That doesn't mean that suddenly that means
that's what I was getting at for a long
time.
But
you said I can't. You said you won't take anything from me, bro.
No. All I'm saying is, let me.
Adults, the children.
I know. I'm the same. Look, mate, I've been around since I was around even when the Premier League started. I'm 46 years old, so I've seen it all from the beginning. And what I'm saying is, obviously, both United, they're legendary anyway, so we don't even need to mention them. Arsenal, again, under Wenger, legendary. And in that same period, Chelsea were always there fighting. You know, so it was always, you know, every season.
Can I ask a real quick question? Because I think we could have this debate for an hour and a half. When you say relevant, are you meaning teams that are challenging for their league title?
League title, FA Cup, Champions League.
I think the argument here is more about. I think the argument has to be more about what the people consider. It's a bit like the world class debate. What do you consider relevant to be? Because if it's like media attention, Man United are always relevant. If it's challenging for titles, then we're not. But I think we're arguing over maybe 2 or 3 different people's views of what relevant means, as opposed to maybe agreeing what it does. A comment here from Mike. I just want to try and get to these super chats before the end of the show. This here from Mike says, yes, we've won, but can't be letting in goals like that. And Josh, who's also a Chelsea fan, says, horrible defensively. I'm happy yet embarrassed. Is that an area, do you think, Mo, that although Chelsea have won today, they're 4 points off top, that if they're going to buy in January, the defense is an area when you look at today that they've really got to look to improve?
Yeah, they need a top center back. We keep saying that. However, the 2 goals were just luck. By the way, you are not going to say that Chelsea defensively were horrible because Cucurella just had the wrong boots on. It's just luck. Like Cucurella having the right boots. But they need to sign a top center back. I don't know who. Chelsea need a center back in January ASAP, by the way. A top one to lead that defense. Colwell is not it. Maybe Romero.
I agree. I have to agree. I have to agree. I have to agree when it comes to mistakes. You know, mistakes, even if mistakes change the result, it's funny, depending on the result. A lot of football fans always say they don't do results-based analysis and it's all about performances. I think a lot of football fans lie and they hide behind that word performance when it suits them. But you can excuse the 2 goals that Spurs conceded first. You might look at the way Kulusevski, the way Solanke, can't get my names out, did Levi Colwill. The way Levi Colwill didn't even see that he was going to make that run. He's young, though, and he might develop that. That, for me, is an experience thing around. I think it's easier to be the striker in that circumstance than it is a defender. And I think it sometimes takes defenders years to learn, well, when the ball, these are the kind of runs that the top strikers make, and you learn to anticipate them. So, yeah, I still would look to improve the area. Artem here says, Ange let his pride get in the way, rushing those 2 centre-backs back. I know it's a derby, but was it worth sacrificing them for the foreseeable? I'm not going to lie, Man United are in bad form, but if we go to play this Spurs team as you currently are and you don't have those centre-backs, I fancy us to beat you at White Hart Lane in a week. I really do. I really do. I mean, again, we can concede. I'm not saying we won't, but without those two that's why I think he was wrong to rush them today. I know he wanted to win, but if they're now out now for another month or two each, it really ain't worth it, but we'll see. Chelsea are in the title race. Just don't think we will stay in it. Sancho is balling. Hashtag survive Sancho, though. That's why I didn't do any of those stupid tweets that people do. Just stay out of the way. Where is Chatty Patty? He had so much chest for Chelsea. I ain't seen Chatty Patty in a minute. I hope he's well. Merry Christmas. Palmer Dagger, 4 players for that Enzo goal. I mean, the Enzo goal was ridiculously good, wasn't it, Dave? It was just, I know there was a bit of luck with how the ball got to him, but the finish was just out of the world.
The dribbling is a joke, and the Enzo finish is right in the bottom, like right in the bottom corner. Forster, to be fair, actually had quite a good game. I don't think he did much wrong.
Who?
Yeah, for Spurs.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Yeah, he couldn't do the goals that you guys scored. He could do absolutely nothing about. I do have this one feeling about the game, though. I wonder what Solanke's feeling right now, because he did have the chance to put them 3-1 up with a tap in from 3 yards out, and he missed. Because I think if they go 3-1 up, I think they win. It's just that missed chance that's when I put my bet on. That's when I went £100 on Chelsea. From that point, I went, now I'm putting it on. That was when I think I did it. Palmer, history maker, best pen success rate, 12 from 12. Nice. Sancho, what an incredible redemption. Yeah, he's doing very, very well. We just needed the right system, team, and to feel loved. All I have to say is UT. What does UTC mean?
Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea. There we go. Mo is so spot on today. Here's what he said here. DR says, league race talk so funny to me. Objective has and always will be top 4 this season. We are the £1 billion job pretenders, not contenders that we are.
Can I just say, Terry, over our top 4 rivals, we are now 11 points clear of Spurs, 12 points clear of United, 6 points clear of Villa. So that's who I'm focused on.
I understand that. And do you know what I do find interesting is when Arsenal had this type of season 2 years ago where they were in a race and didn't expect to be. And this is what Chelsea fans have just got to brace themselves for. Is that what you guys did is now you got to go on to, now you're not ahead. If you guys do manage to catch Liverpool, say by February, you will get now you got to go on to win it, because I did warn you all. You all did it to other people. And that's why sometimes I think it's better in the long term to keep the powder dry. But that's just me. But no, you are in the league title race. Again, my definition of a league title race, it starts day one, because you've got to build the foundation to be in the home straight. There's no point running the home straight in 10 seconds if you're a minute behind the rest of the rat pack. you know what I mean?
The way I see it, and it'll make sense if you watch Formula One, is that currently Chelsea are in second, but we're not in a car that's meant to be there. We're not in a Mercedes. We're not in a Ferrari. We're in an Alpine. So, we are in second. So, if things go well, we can finish there. We're showing some good pace.
Yeah, but the other cars don't have wheels. That is the problem. The other cars that's supposed to be second and third. But that's
just very quickly. Ornstein breaking news: Liverpool made an opening contract offer to Mo Salah. Does not mean the agreement is done or close. Any outcome expressed to take time. But Salah, Virgil, Trent Alexander-Arnold have all now received proposals. Talks ongoing. We'll be touching on that later. Well, early part of next week, Monday, tomorrow. Going through that. This super chat here says, if Mo and Hassam had bothered to watch Enzo's first Chelsea half season, they would know he was playing exactly like this. He'd never be. You said he'd never be good enough. Maybe rethink your research because we will see. Sorry, I misread that.
Yeah, Enzo Maresca is getting the best out of the guy. I still think the fundamentals of playing in the 8 or the 6 or something is not there. He cannot turn. He's just too weak. But today, again, he is getting goals and assists because Enzo Maresca is not asking him to do the Lavia or the Caicedo job. It's just very simple.
Also, I will say this. I don't think his first 6 months was as good as we've seen in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah,
no, I think this is the best Enzo.
Best, Yeah, and I think it's important when you're having these debates and conversations to be really intellectually honest. This is the best he's been. And you can tell that with the goal rate and the way he's performing. And Chelsea have gone up a level as well. And he's doing very, very well, though. Palmer again. Ole, ole, ole. Big up to you, Terry and Mo, is what Irish Yellow says here. African Giant says, we were terrible today. Makes the win so much sweeter. You think Chelsea were terrible?
That's completely wrong. Super chat, African Giant.
Overall, it's not our best performance. I don't think we were terrible, though.
Yeah, no.
But do you know what it is, though? Like, listen, I may sound like a little bit of a hypocrite here because I think performance reviewing is important. At the same time, when your performances over a longer period of time start to become more consistent, like yours have started to, you can take games where you're losing by a couple of goals and you come back to win, and maybe you don't spend too much time focusing on the goals you conceded. Because I certainly know as a younger man, when Man United were very good, we had games like today, and you never were in the pub afterwards with your mates or at work the next day debating it, saying, I know we won, but fucking goals we conceded. You just focused on the win. I think when you're in the mud, like my club currently is, I feel like every little element of the performance needs such analysing because of the way you feel. But I hear you, African Giant. Chelsea should go for Saliba, screw Arsenal. Could you imagine in the summer if Chelsea pulled something like that off? There would be war in the social media world. Look, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. This video is going to redirect you to Mo and Hussam's channel, so get yourselves over there to support. We're back tomorrow with more, including the top 6 show. So be here tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time. It's going to be an amazing show where we review the weekend, look ahead of the Champions League football as well. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to sit and speak to you, even the irrelevant fans. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and remember to check out NordVPN and get yourself protected online.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to